Wanna dance like nobody is watching. As free as the feeling of flying. When the fear of heights or success perhaps abscess the perspective. The drowning effect of 2 left feet in a top petty and a heartbreaker's complex. Free fall into a space of breath, live from the other side of the vacuum. Feel awakened like a child's first step. Another round of my first steps. Moving, so move on them. Dance like you got something to prove and groove on them. Do it to your...
Up next on the Milo Show, the magnificent Carmel Liburdi is here to play a new song from her upcoming album. It's called Insomnia Slumber Party. Here's Carmel Liburdi.
Love is a sentimental journey, and I've got the right to say sometimes I don't believe that it means anything. I can sleep alone, I can dine alone, I could meet someone, or I could die alone. At the end of the day, I still got this home inside my head. It's time we go our separate ways. I'm sorry if you felt ashamed. My own personal curbside superstar, watching wasp do the tango in my yard. 'Cause I'm just sitting on a porch step right next to your profile. Loneliness, take the same idea, rebottle it, and then sell it back to me like it's new again. Oh, like a string or a heart. They told me this is where the party starts, but it's hard to dance when the lights are off. Yeah, it's hard to dance when the lights are off. It's time we go our separate ways. I'm trying not to feel the shame. My own personal curbside superstar, watching wasps do the tango in my yard. 'Cause I'm just sitting on a porch step right next to your profile. Loneliness, take the same idea, rebottle it, and then sell it back to me like it's new again. Oh, because I'm just sitting on a porch step right next to your profound. Loneliness, take the same idea, rebottle it, and then sell it back to me like it's new again. I thought it was good. So here it is, the truth from me. I think about you frequently. I hate you for it mostly, but sometimes you're kind of cute.
And joining me here next is Jarett Koral from Jet Plastic Recordings. Hey.
Hi, Jeff.
How are you, dude?
I'm fantastic, and you?
I'm doing great. So you run a record label.
Yes, sir.
Here out of Detroit. Vinyl.
Yes.
You've been doing this for years. I think a lot of people have heard your story by now. You're on here to talk more about what you've been up to the last year, though, I think. You've been doing some cool things. The Buzzards came out.
Yeah.
Idiot Kids came out.
Yeah.
But let's talk about, I guess, 2 years ago, there's a lot of attention on the label. What was that like, and what's it been like since?
Oh, it was fantastic, because about 2 years ago we did the record release for Record Store Day with Macaulay Culkin, and it was the Pizza Underground, which was a total gimmick release. But also it was just fun to be a part of.
So you met Macaulay Culkin?
No, I never talked to
Never
Macaulay
got to.
Culkin. Never talked to Macaulay Culkin. No, neither of us. Josh Woodcock and I both did the record together, and we worked on like the legal stuff, and we never got to talk to Macaulay Culkin. And I've also never seen Home Alone, which I think at this point, like it's funnier.
Yeah, no,
that,
don't ever.
Like I don't see it. And at this point, I've listened to the fake Velvet Underground, the Pizza Band, more than the actual Velvet Underground, which I think is pretty, pretty good in and of itself.
Right.
But yeah.
But I think we have long passed the point where people can stop saying, "Look, it's a former high school kid who has his own label."
Right.
You run your own label, man. You're legit now.
Yeah, it's like when I was 12 and 13 doing it, the gimmick was totally there, because all these old punk people were like, hey, this is how old we were when we started,
Right.
when we started recording our first records, and we started putting out records like
Right.
on Touch and Go and Discord and all this kind of stuff. But it's like now there's less of a gimmick, because like I'm older now, and it's like the labels become something where it's like more refined, and I'm putting out more releases. So it's like there's no gimmick where it's like like this 12, 13, 14-year-olds putting out records
Right.
anymore, because like that was a selling point for a while.
Right. I met you when you were 12. You handed me a cassette. That's how I know you. Yeah.
Right. It was at the Secret Friends Fest thing?
That's right.
Okay, yeah. That was
It's like this 12-year-old has a record label.
yeah, that's the only cassette I've done thus far, yeah.
Great. Well, I have it.
Thanks, Jeff.
When I was 12, I was, I was into sports or, just listening to music. You were interested in vinyl and record pressing. How does one get into that inclination?
Well,
What drew you to it?
my family's had like a record store locally since like the mid 80s.
Okay, cool.
Melly's Memories in East Point, but it's like something where I wasn't there like that much, but when I was there, I was like with my father, and we were like surrounded by records, obviously, because it's a record store.
No, sure, of course.
So as one does,
That place is packed.
Yeah, it's a lot of records in there, but it's like like growing up there, like he brought me like a cheap like Fisher Price kind of turntable when I was really young, and I got like a few records like Kiss Alive and Band on the Run, and like really like beat up copies of these records.
Sure.
Because I'd ruin them anyway. But I'd listen to them over and over, and that's mainly how I got into like actual records. And then in mid 2012. I was attending the School of Rock at the time, because I did that for like a year or so, and that's how I met Joe Leone from Grayling and some other stuff like that. And Greg Beyer from the band After Dark Amusement Park, he wanted, he was putting out a full-length LP at the time, and there were some tracks that didn't fit on the LP or something, but I really liked the band. So I kicked it around, like putting out a 45 of the songs, and then came from there. And I thought it was going to be something where like I'd have like a shit ton of these records in my closet or something.
That would never sell.
But yeah, because as everyone does,
Right.
like Ben Blackwell from Third Man talks about the same thing. How he thinks he'd have, or Dave Buick, how they'd have like a load of these records. But
Right.
it went well, and then kept going on. And, like I've never had much money to put into this. Like I've been selling my own stuff to fund it, like up until a while ago. So it's like I make one record, and then the money I make from that goes into the next one, and then it funnels out as I make more money. So then I'm able to do more stuff. But it's like it's not like a lucrative thing. Like
Sure.
I'm not making like $1 million putting
Sure.
out a Caveman Woodman and Bam Bam Moss record.
Oh, yeah,
but it's like
what's that?
it's something that I love to have out there, for the sake of it. It's not going to be a million seller, but it's something where like because I love the guys and I love the music, it's something that I just want it to exist,
Right. That's beautifully put. Something that I just want to exist. Because I don't think that I was also as financially astute as you are when I was your age. So
Right.
it must be something that just wanting to get this music out there, that must be your main motivator.
Right. I can't afford food some days, let alone putting out records. But it's like something where like I've gotten to the point where, I need to keep it going.
Right.
There's a lot of bands locally who are really good, and I want to help them, get records out, because some of them don't know like that there's a market for vinyl, or like because they just put out like homemade cassettes, like they can like do that.
Right.
But
Or it just seems daunting to them.
yeah, it seems like a difficult task,
Sure.
like mastering for vinyl and
Sure.
all this stuff. But I like over the past like 6 or so years that I've done this, I've like developed some knowledge for it. So I'm able to know
Right.
like enough about
Right.
about getting it done. You know,
Right.
like I still don't know how to cut a record, but I mean I know who to talk to cut a record.
Right.
You know,
Caveman Woodman.
yeah.
They have an aesthetic. So their record was recently released. It's in the garage rock realm. That
Yeah.
seems to be your bread and butter.
Yes.
Can you talk about that and what your formative musical tastes were and who your heroes were and
Right.
what made you get into this?
Yeah, well, I was always really into classic rock. Favorite band ever is the Beatles, obviously, as everyone's is.
Sure.
You know, so it's like coming off that, I started really getting into independent labels, like a label called Infinity Cat out of Nashville, who have Jeff the Brotherhood on their roster, and then through them, I listened to Jack White, and I hadn't really heard of Jack White prior to 2012, because like when they were playing locally, I was like 4 years old.
Right.
I couldn't have seen the White Stripes.
Right.
You know, it's not logical, but it's like I learned about Jack White and Third Man, and then through there I just kept
Sure.
like learning more about music, and then
Something
back
primal
into,
must
back
have
into
sparked
the Stooges, the MC5.
when you heard this
yeah.
sound.
Yeah, I mean it's like it's gritty and it's a sound that's like authentically Detroit.
Yeah.
I think.
I want to ask you, have Macaulay Culkin we talked about, has there been any other moments where you've had a very surreal moment where like, oh my God, this is my life, I'm actually meeting this person kind of a thing? I know you didn't meet Macaulay Culkin, but I know you met a lot of people.
Yeah.
And Jet has been your sort of ticket
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Oh boy, it has.
interesting.
Yeah. When Corey Feldman played in Toledo, I put out the Corey Feldman record for this last record store day, and that was a lot of fun because I got to work like directly with him and stuff. But I hadn't met him before, so like I went down there with two friends and we ended up going, and they said, okay, just stay after the show, because they had like VIP laminates that they were selling, meet and greet with Corey, like because a lot of like 80s kids, like they want to meet the heartthrob, Corey's Corey Feldman, King of Tiger Beat. So they gave me a pass to stay after, and then they were like, oh no, you don't need to stay after for this. Corey wants to hang out with you on the bus. But we hung out on the bus for 3 hours, and then it was like it was just strange because it's Corey Feldman. And the same thing with Weezer. Like I got to hang out with Weezer.
Yeah.
Went to this like the Soaring Eagle Casino, and because of the record label, I got to hang out with Rivers Cuomo, who's pretty cool.
Yeah. So now you've been into this game 5, 6 years, 7 years.
Yeah.
And biggest lessons? Do you know how to do it? Do you have a formula, approach, a philosophy?
I have a really difficult time in saying no. So if a lot of bands approach me at once wanting to put out a record and they're all really good, I'm like, okay, great, let's do it.
Right.
And then all of a sudden I have 25 things that I'm supposed to be having out.
That's fun.
And it's kind of difficult, to get the timelines and everything together, but I manage. But, it's just difficult because a lot of bands, as you said, it's like a daunting task where they don't know exactly how to go about putting out records. But like, as always, if there's any like independent bands that want me to help in any way, like it doesn't even need to be on Jet Plastic. Like if they just want to like know how to do this, like I'm more than happy to do it.
Right.
Because I know
the
like,
path.
I know the path. I'm putting out 7-inch records. Nobody's making money with 7-inch records. Like it's like a labor of love thing.
Right.
So really, it's like it's all for the love of it because I'm not making money with this so far.
Right.
Well, but then I'm opening a store, and like.
That's right.
Mid next year, and
You have a location?
yes,
Yeah.
and I can't say yet for
Okay.
the sake of me messing it up.
Well,
but
thanks for being here, Jarett.
thanks, Jeff. I
Cheers.
appreciate it.
Dig
Yep.
it. Cut. And that's it. And coming up next on the Milo Show, a brand new song from Bars of Gold.
Within, some of the things that I have now, some of the things with the dog
time to shine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What do we want? We want to hit and come to party. All right.
Intro, take, and up next on the Milo Show, the Johnny Ill Band is playing a song called God or Dead.
Damn.
Damn it! I keep wanting to say dead.
We did one take. I'm just gonna take you, man.
Yeah, dog. I'm ready, dog.
This is just like the Ed Sullivan Show. And remember to smile, and then and bow at the end. And Detroit House Guest is out now on Ghostly International, right?
No.
No. What is the label? What's the
Mute.
label? On mute. We'll just.
You
we
say it again.
just-
Yeah, you say it again. Yeah. Okay, whenever you're ready, Steven, you can go ahead and slate me.
Quick sip, sorry.
You're good. Oh, we say beggars take two, sorry. So I know what I'm looking at later.
Oh, no, it's a mosquito, man.
Contrast. Here we go. All right, here we go.
Bars of gold. No. No, you do the mouth and I'll say it. Bars of gold. Take 1.